1 hour, 60 minutes, or 3,600 seconds of our lives we'll never get back. You can describe it in any measurement of time that you want, but that opening match was a complete waste of time. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. I cannot believe they made us sit through a full hour-long match of MJF versus Will Ospreay for the international or the intercontinental or whatever crappy job or belt that Will Ospreay has. There's so many belts in AEW, I genuinely don't know which one he's got. It's either the continental or the international. Either way, he doesn't have it anymore. MJF won. Technically, the match wasn't an hour. It was only 59 minutes and 58 seconds if you want to call it exactly how it was. But I'll call it exactly how it was. It was shit, man. This match put me to sleep. And let's just call it an hour long, multiple breaks. And the match itself, it was a spam finisher fest. There was no selling. Ospreay hitting all of his big moves multiple times, hitting the switchblade, hitting the stunner, this springboard stunner. Then he was hitting springboard RKOs. Not sure what he calls them, but they all look shit. They all look phony, and it was just the same move being repeated over and over again. It was 1 hour of gymnastics, 1 hour of complete no selling, 1 hour of fucking hitting the triangle button on WWE 2K20. That's all this match was, man. It was just complete finisher, signature move, over and over again. And it didn't need to be an hour. If you're going to go an hour, at least give us an Iron Man match. At least give us a match that's worthy of being an hour. And you know what? At least put it on the pay-per-view, because this was AEW Dynamite 250. This was a special edition. And because this match took so long, it felt like the rest of the show was rushed. By the time the MJF and Will Ospreay match finished and everybody made their way to the back, it was at least 10 past 2 in the UK, maybe even quarter past. So you used up 75 minutes of the show just showcasing the opening match, and then everything else got crammed in to the last 45 minutes. And outside of the opening match, the show wasn't that bad, but the problem is most people probably tuned out because nobody wants to sit and watch an hour's worth of wrestling. You factor in the entrances, you factor in the post-match, it was about an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 15. So, yeah, just MJF wins in the end. Ospreay's going to go for the maneuver that he said he would never do again because he thought that he paralysed Bryan. But since Bryan is fine now and continue to wrestle and will probably still wrestle until one day he actually does legitimately get hurt, why don't you bring this move back? It makes no sense. So Ospreay's sitting there with about 30 seconds left. He doesn't want to hit the move, so he doesn't do it. He reluctantly lets MJF go. MJF pushes Ospreay into the referee. Ref takes a bump. MJF hits Ospreay with the AEW Diamond Gold ring. He goes for the cover, and this was terrible selling for the referee. And I mean, I'm not just picking on AEW because obviously we've seen it SummerSlam, or was it not SummerSlam? We've seen it the last pay-per-view Money in the Bank. Referee made a horrendous error not to count the free count. This one, I mean, it's not as bad, but it looked really poor. The referee is 1 minute selling the move. He's down and out, and then as soon as MJF hooked the leg for the cover, the referee just sprung into action to count the free. It kind of reminded you that time John Cena was down and out on the outside. The referee got to a 9 count and Super Cena just literally sprang up like he wasn't even hurt and jumped in the ring. That's what it was like with the referee. Down and out. He's selling this move. As soon as MJF went for the cover, referee dives into position to get the 1-2-3 so that he could pin Will Ospreay out with 2 seconds remaining. After the match, we had medical teams come out. They put the mask on MJF, and crowd wasn't happy with MJF. Commentary team wasn't happy with MJF. Excalibur was putting over the fact that the scumbag's leaving with the title and the guy that's a good human being lost, and Taz is pretty much like, well, that's right, because Ospreay had the chance to win, but he didn't want to take it to the next level. He didn't want to hit that maneuver, and there you go. MJF, new champion. Didn't need to be an hour, though. Could have done it. I mean, you could have done it from about 15 minutes onwards. They kept repeating the same move, so the match could have been 15 minutes and it would have been fine. I think Tony Khan is a believer of more long matches somehow equals good matches, and that's just not the case. And I mean, it wasn't the case here. This was way too long, guys. So yeah, not a fan of the opener. Just lasted too long. I know some people are bragging about it. Some people online, I'm seeing people say it's the best match of the year, hands down. One of the best matches ever in AEW. And I mean, I get it. This kind of match will appeal to a lot of people, but honestly, I mean, it doesn't appeal to me. And I would imagine a lot of people in the arena, you're standing there, sitting there, whatever, for over an hour and 10 minutes while this whole thing happens, because you count the entrances and the post match. That's just way too long, man. It's a joke. It's way too long. It's different if it's an Iron Man match and it's the main event and it's been promoted for weeks, months, or whatever, and you know what you're getting, and you're getting pinfalls and you're getting submissions. But just to have an hour long match, a normal match that went an hour, we just kick out after kick out after kick out. I mean, it was so predictable. 2.5, 2.5, 2 7/8, 2 7/8, 2.5, 2 7/8. Oh, he's got him. No, he's not got him. Oh, he's got him this time. No, he's not got him. I mean, didn't do it for me. Didn't do it for me. And it's a shame because, I mean, they both tried, I guess. They both went an hour. But, yeah, 15 minutes would have been fine here. Whatever, though, this to me put the show on a dampener. And after this, you've got 45 minutes left to try and save it. I'm not against good wrestling, but this wasn't a good wrestling match. Like I said, it was this wasn't Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels. It really wasn't. This was an hour of literally, like I said, spam finishers and no selling and gymnasts. You had them doing their flips and their dives, and MJF done a hurricane ran off the top rope, and Ospreay landed on his feet. MJF done one on Ospreay, he landed on his feet. And I mean, this isn't even at the beginning of the match feeling each other out. This was like halfway through. They were landing big moves just to like show off, and the other person was landing on his feet, and then they were still like staring each other down. It's like, it's gymnastics. I mean, it's not fucking wrestling. It's really not. But this is Will Ospreay's style, and this is why we on Fog Wrestling don't like Will Ospreay, because the guy fucking sucks. So yeah, that's what it is. I'm sure Meltzer's giving it the 5 stars, but it was way too long for me, and that took away from the match. So I did not like the opening. Anyway, we go to the back. The Acclaimed ask Mark Briscoe if they can team up with him next week against the Elite at Blood and Guts. Swerve arrives and they agree. So there you go. We've got 4 out of the 5. Mark Briscoe and the Acclaimed teaming up with Swerve Strickland. It's not really Team AEW, is it? It's not a team you'd expect to beat the Elite. This match, it's not star-studded, that's for sure. Mark Briscoe run the room with the Ring of Honor title, doing absolutely nothing with it. Then we've got TV time with Chris Jericho. Jericho says he's been on almost every episode of Dynamite, and he'll be on every one until 500, because when he's not on it, the couple of times he's not been on Dynamite, apparently the fans have been upset and they've been sending in emails, the branches aren't happy. Jericho says people get hurt when they don't listen to the learning tree. He shows footage of Hook, Shibata and Joe. Taz isn't a big fan of Jericho. So there you go. He says you'd be crazy not to listen to the learning tree at this point. And then enter King Minoru Suzuki. I don't know why he's called a king. Doesn't look like a king, doesn't dress like a king, doesn't walk like a king, doesn't act like a king, doesn't speak like a king, but then again, he doesn't speak at all because he can't speak English. Me not speak English, me pass you not from Tony Khan. So he passes him a note, and I guess the note says that next week at Blood and Guts, Suzuki will challenge Jericho for the FTW title. So I mean, this guy can't cut a promo. This guy can't speak English, so he just comes out with a note from the back. What the fuck? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Why not at least get? Why can't these guys at least get like translators? Why do they need notes? I mean, fucking hell! Like a piece of paper with some writing on it, and they have to read it out because obviously that this guy can't. And then he hits Jericho. He decks Jericho, and that's it. Jericho gets decked. So, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. Then we get the Elite. They're backstage. They said they're not worried about Swerve and Company. Hangman's back and he's going to be joining their team. Mercedes Moné appears. She thanks the Elite for banning Britt Baker tonight. Okada asks Mercedes to do the CEO dance. She does it and then she says, CEO, got to go. And then she walks off and Okada's sweating. And, he's like, wow, the Heat. I can't take it anymore. So he finds Mercedes Moné attractive. He finds her hot. Now, wrestling headlines said this was amazing. I mean, it really wasn't, because it was just so phony from Okada. Look, I'm all for sex appeal in wrestling and people finding the women, the divas, whatever, attractive. But the way Okada was getting on, I mean, Okada was getting on as if he's been trapped in like a burning house here, like a fire. I mean, this came off like comedy, but he was being real. It came off as like bad comedy, but it wasn't supposed to be bad comedy. He was like genuinely finding Mercedes attract. It was just dumb, you know. It was fucking weird. It would have just been better if the guy was constantly staring at her instead of like doing this phony shit where he's pulling his shirt because he's sweating buckets. The guy wasn't even sweating, you know. It was dumb. Anyway, it was. It is what it is. TBS Championship match: Mercedes Moné versus Nyla Rose. Match was all right, I guess. Nyla Rose done a flying guillotine off the top rope, folded Mercedes Moné in half. Mercedes Moné went for the lockjaw, but Nyla bit her hand, so she transitioned into the statement maker, aka the bank statement, and Nyla tapped out. So Mercedes Moné wins, hardly surprising. I mean, the match was alright, but it wasn't. You know, it's just a match, really. We then see Mercedes Moné. She rips up a Britt Baker sign at ringside. There's a fan with a Sting mask on holding it up. And she pie faces, the fan pie faces Mercedes, and it turns out it's Britt Baker. Britt Baker jumps the barricade, security break it up. We don't get to see the fight. Why security are, so hell-bent on breaking these two up, I don't know. But that's what it is. Jack Perry is then backstage, and he wants to know why Darby Allin... not Darby Allin. Was it Darby Allin? I don't know. He's talking about Brandon Cutler. And he says, I don't care if he beat up Brandon Cutler. And then he beats Brandon Cutler up himself. So, yeah. There you go. He throws Brandon Cutler into the boiler room. This Brandon Cutler guy fucking sucks, by the way. Right, up next we had Mariah May. She came out dressed as Toni Storm. We all thought it was timeless Toni Storm. She came out in the Toni Storm gear, the Toni Storm entrance, the white and the black and white, light and whatever. We find out it's Mariah May. She comes down to the ring. She's taking her time to speak. Tony Schiavone says, "Well, speak, bitch. Come on now." This was great for Tony Schiavone. I enjoyed it. And then, honestly, Mariah May, in my opinion, went on to cut one of the best promos I've seen in AEW for a very long time, saying that we all seen it coming, everyone except Toni Storm. May wanted to see how far it could go, and she was surprised that it went this far. But when she comes to Wembley, she's going to why take the old horse out the back when she can kill it in front of as many people as possible. And then she says All Elite Wrestling is all about Mariah May, and she starts like rolling about the ring like Toni Storm would, and she just like poses there in like her sexy attire and the fishnets and all that shit. It was good. No, it was a good promo. Yeah, respect to Mariah May, and I got a feeling that she'll actually beat Toni Storm. So yeah, it was a really good promo for Mariah May. I'd actually check it out if you haven't. Toni Storm's been obviously the best thing in AEW for a while now, but this Mariah May promo was good, and the attack last week was good. So yeah, she's right up there in my opinion with Toni Storm right now. And if you think about it, the AEW's women's division, it's better than people give it credit for. It has improved a lot over the past year, I would say. A year ago, I thought it was terrible, but you do have decent women in there like Mariah May and Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné. Despite what people think of her, she does have a look. She looks good and she wrestles good, but her promos fucking suck. But maybe she can fix that. I don't know. She's the boss. What maybe she needs a manager. Maybe she needs someone, a sidekick that would kind of suit her character, I think, anyway. Maybe the CEO needs somebody under her, but whatever. I think the women's division is actually doing not bad in AEW right now, so I'll give it credit. Then we go into the main event, Okada versus Strickland with Prince Nana. This match doesn't last long, although we do go beyond the time, so we go into the overtime here, and it ends in a DQ. The Bucks come out, they attack, Swerve. Then the Acclaimed come in, and we have Mark Briscoe in there, Jack Perry. Everybody's getting involved. Hangman is here, and Team Elite are outnumbered, but then Darby Allin comes down from the rafters, a bit like Sting, and Tony Schiavone's like, "It's Darby!" So, I mean, there you go, whatever. He gets down. I just think it looks dumb, though, when you see someone coming from the rafters and they're like just like floating in midair, you know, they're hanging there. They're like elevated in midair and they're suspended and there's nothing they can do. It does look a little bit dumb in my opinion. But Darby Allin then takes the brawl to the Elite, and Team AEW beat the Elite up as the show goes off the air. So, I mean, look, the return of Darby Allin, I mean, it's not a big return, but I mean, whatever. He stole Sting's entrance, so it's pretty cool. I wish it was Sting doing it, but whatever. Sting's done. Sting's gone. We won't see Sting again. At least the main event, you know, didn't last forever. I thought the Mercedes Moné Nyla Rose match was passable. You know, it was decent, and the Mariah May promo I thought was really good. But the TV time was not bad either. To be fair, I mean, it wasn't the worst episode of Dynamite, it really wasn't, but the opening match for me killed it. It really fucking did. But there was only 3 matches on the entire show. You had the AEW International Championship match, Will Ospreay versus MJF. You had the AEW TBS Championship match, Mercedes Moné versus Nyla Rose. And then you had the non-title champion versus champion, Strickland versus Okada match. So only 3 matches on the show. It just goes to show you that opening match took way too much time out of Dynamite this week. So, in terms of rating, guys, I mean, the first match dragged in. It really did. But I actually thought it was not bad after that. However, for a big episode, I thought it was a wee bit disappointing. Kind of expecting more. Expecting them to showcase more of the talent, more of the wrestlers on the big 250 episode, and they didn't do that. Here, I'll give it a 3 out of 10. I mean, it wasn't great, but I mean, I think it was better than the average Dynamite. 3 out of 10, guys. There you go. Mariah May promo. Pretty damn good. And I think Mariah May could win. But then again, if she beats Toni Storm, what's going to be her gimmick after that? Because she can't steal Toni Storm's gimmick. I mean, what does she do after she feuds with Toni Storm? So, I mean, it's hard to say. But I'm enjoying what Mariah May is doing right now. I'm enjoying Toni Storm. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Blood and Guts next week. Yeah, guys, 3 out of 10. Is that generous? Maybe a little bit. Maybe I'm just giving it a couple of points too much because I like the Mariah May stuff, but it was alright. Yeah, you got to see Darby Allin return. I mean, it's a return from the rafters, so that's worth a point. And, I mean, yeah, whatever. Ospreay lost, that's another point, so there you go. There's your points. Now, you know what, the Mercedes Moné match, it was not bad. I mean, Mercedes is what it is. Yeah, 3 out of 10, guys. I'm not going to change it. Maybe I should. 2 out of 10. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. Maybe, yeah, 3 out of 10. Fuck it. Let's go. I'm going to. It's going to take me as long as the opening match here to decide my rating. But yeah, I'll give it a 3 out of 10. Catch you in the next one. It's like literally 4 a.m. in the UK, man. So just when you get to this time after watching Dynamite, man, it is tough. It is tough to string words together. Never mind a 20-minute fid. So there you go, guys. Final rating, 3 out of 10. Was it the worst Dynamite? No. Was it a special good edition of Dynamite? Was it worthy of being this big 250 episode show? In my opinion, no. I think it disappointed a little bit, but I mean, whatever. They sacrificed the show to have that massive opening match, and I don't think it was worth it. But Tony Khan did, and he's the one that runs things. So yeah, we'll see. In terms of the ratings, I think that the ratings will drop off big time because of that opening match. You're asking the audience to sit through one match for the first 5 quarters of the show, and that to me is unlikely. We'll see what the quarters say, but I think we'll see a big decline because of that opening match. So yeah, tomorrow, guys, AEW quarters will be released, and we'll break it down, as DX would say. Till next time, peace.